You know, if you're gonna be a player, man, you know what I mean. You find something to be dedicated to, man. You know, there is all different pieces of the game, man. Different pieces of investment, different pieces of different ways to do things, man. You got to find your way. Okay, so say if I use real estate as an example again, uh, some niggas is gonna get into real estate and they gonna be able to be wholesalers. They not gonna fix up the house or nothing. They gonna buy it for say 40 grand, and they gonna sell it to another investor for 50 grand. Simple as that. They're gonna have a list of investors that want to buy shit from them, that trust them, that their title work is gonna be on time and everything is gonna be together. You know, um, their deed paperwork is gonna be on time and everything is gonna be together. Um, some niggas are gonna be good at fixing up. They ain't gonna do as much wholesale volume, but they gonna buy one house every 6 months, or I mean every month or every few months, and they gonna fix it up and rent it out. Some niggas gonna buy houses every what I'm saying month or every few months, and they gonna fix it up to rent it out. Okay, some niggas gonna build a house from ground up, man, and it's gonna take 6 months to build that house and get it going. You know what I'm saying? Proper. You know what I mean? You gotta find what's your thing. You know what I mean? You gotta find how you gonna do this. You know what I mean? How are you gonna take this life that you got and give yourself all of your dreams within that life? You know, you gotta find that out. You gotta study it. You know what I mean? And you gotta connect it to everything you want. I wanted to be a bona fide player from the age of 14, right? But when I was graduating, getting ready to graduate high school, I started buying real estate courses because I just knew that was going to be a part of it. I was going to have a place for me and them to stay. We couldn't stay with my mom, you know. I bought some car buying flipping courses because I knew we had to have a ride to that track or ride to the downtown or whatever. I bought some credit courses and credit repair and business credit courses. Like, man, I just spread my money around and damn near everything as far as learning, man. But it's only a couple of those things that stood out and I was able to stick with. You know what I mean? Which I'm a little invested into some of all that shit that I know about because I didn't just buy one course on credit or one course on business credit. I might have 20 courses over 20 years. Um, especially on business credit. You know what I mean? It costs like $10,000 a pop to, you know. But I bought a bunch of real estate courses. You know what I mean? Some for, you know, I don't know, $1,000. Some for, $3,500 seminars to $15,000 boot camps and shit. But I never really got that thing inside of real estate that made it to where I was a real estate guy. You know, never got that thing. You know what I mean? But I know enough to where if me and my bitches had to move right now, I can get them a house overnight. You know, so I studied enough to make myself at least a doable player. You know what I mean? Like a standard player. And it was on me to take it above that standard. Say this is the standard. You got to leap off this standard to get onto the other things in life. You know what I mean? You got to leap off of that foundation, right? That's why I give it up to my mother and grandmother that gave me a good foundation. My grandmother gave my mother a good foundation, who was able to give me a good foundation, so I'm able to give my kids a good foundation, and they gonna be able to give their kids a good foundation. You know what I mean? Because that's the way that we pass down parenting kids. We don't, you know what I mean? We not, taking it lightly. My mom is on me about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching my kids already before they have kids what they gotta do for their kids. And I remember my mom telling me what all I had to do for my kids back way before I had them too. You know what I mean? So it's been drummed into my mind for years. So, so many things have to be consistently drummed in our minds. I was one of the parents at the football practice yesterday. I was coaching. He started coaching too. Um, he was saying that his two boys didn't want to, they didn't want to do it yesterday. They was just out of it and this and that. And I was like, man, we all have that at work. Some days you don't want to be there and all that. I said, man, you just got to stay consistently on them today. And they gonna make it through it. And tomorrow they gonna feel better about it and everything. My son used to cry to go to, cry to not go to football practice. He realized that it don't matter, tears or not, you're going. You know what I mean? You know, and you got to get good at it, and you got to get out there, and you got to hit, and you got to run, and you got to do everything. You know, I mean, man, I tell you what, it made it easier for him when I started getting on that ground and showing him how to get up fast in that Oklahoma drill. When I started showing him how to cuff that ball to where, you know what I mean, tuck that ball when you're about to hit, you know what I mean, how to, you know, run. When I started racing the team and everything, you know, like that, you know, you got to build that foundation. You got to build that intelligence, okay? You know what I mean? You know, like there's a certain level of intelligence in just knowing how to do something. That ain't saying that my son is smart because he's learning football. That's just saying that he's starting to gain an identity that's associated with football, and that's going to give him confidence to go find deeper intelligence based on football. He ain't at that point where he's going to watch it. He ain't at that point where he think about football all the time. He ain't at that point to where, you know, he grow up, he's telling people he's going to be a football player. He ain't at that point yet. You know what I mean? You know, but it's the same thing if I was in a family that we went to the service, right? All of my uncles that I looked up to, my pimp uncles and my gangster uncles, man, they all, you know, at some level went to the service. You know, because back then, if you had a case, you would go enlist in the service. But they all went AWOL, 100% of them, bro. That's crazy. So for me to not be done went to the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or whatever, it was kind of almost grandfathered in. You know what I'm saying? Because my great uncles all went AWOL. Now both of my grandfathers went. Okay, you know, my dad's father, I don't think he went, but he might have went too. You know, you know, I know my dad's brother went. You know, but anyway, that's something that, you know, these kids don't get their shit together where they can go to college. You know what I mean? Because for that, you know, they got to at least get some partial help, partial scholarships, and a lot of that in partial scholarships or grants or whatever, you can be found by just looking it up. You know, and I was so lazy when I got out of high school, man. You know, I didn't look up who else would pay for the rest of the scholarship if I got a partial scholarship in art. I didn't, you know, I bought one Matthew Let's Go Grants book. You know what I mean? I went through there probably one afternoon of my life. You know, that was it. I was already kind of so sold on going into the streets. Even if I was going to college, I picked the college I was going to go to. And I seen how far it was away from my house, and that I was going to have to live in the dorms and shit like that. And you didn't give me my car back neither, so just remember that. You know, I pictured how far it was, you know, it was away, and you know what I mean, what all I would have to take. You know, I used to think that all the animals just fly out the way when you're driving down the street until, you know, bust the window in my Porsche, you know, not slowing down for the motherfucking big ass butts that's in the road. One of them bitches, them big motherfuckers hit my side mirror, cracked my whole shit. I was pissed. I was recording at the time, so I was teaching the class. You know, cracked my whole shit. So it's a learning experience now to know that, damn, you know, you better slow down because them motherfuckers are human and where they can make a mistake and they can misjudge it and you end up down there on them. And it wrecks your shit, so it makes your shit look raggedy. You know, I had to go buy another side mirror and shit. And those mirrors, you know, got the lights on them and they got the heat, you know, thing to defrost them, and you know what I mean. So it's not as simple as going to the junkyard and just buying a mirror or some shit like that, you know. Anyway, so yeah, man, there's all sorts of game, man, that, you know, but you're gonna have to be involved in it in order for you to get deeper and deeper into it. All right, man, I'm about to pull up at this bitch house and I'm about to finish my class, man. I gave you all the other sample, man. Peace and love, baby. Y'all join us, nigga. And also, man, I got a course that I'm doing this week about fixing bitches' problems, man. You know what I mean? It's a $1,000 course. If y'all niggas bad today, I'll let y'all niggas in for $250. All right, man. Peace and love, baby. Get on my Instagram, send me a DM or something, or you know, send me a text to the phone number, nigga. All right, man. Y'all holla to sign up or whatever. All right, peace.